Welcome to the Babbles Nonsense podcast, where I'm your host, Jonna Grimes, and we're here to discuss any and all things, but especially the shit that I want to talk about. Because let's face it, I have a lot of shit to say. And after all, you are listening to my verbal diary. Let's get started. What is up, everyone? Welcome back. You are listening to the Babbles Nonsense podcast, and I'm at my friend's gorgeous house, which I am jealous of. Caitlyn. Hello, Caitlyn.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me on the podcast today.
It's great. So let me just tell you a little bit about Caitlyn. She is a nurse practitioner. We met when we were nurses working in the ER together several years ago. She has advanced her degree, such as I have, and she is now getting into entrepreneurship, which is why I wanted to have her on the podcast so that we can talk a little bit about her business. So let's get started with that. We're in Huntsville. If anyone is wondering, if anyone may happen to be listening elsewhere in the world, that would be crazy cool. But if you're not, we're in Huntsville. Caitlyn has developed this company with one of her partners, Amanda, and they started this. What? I done lost my mind. It's a sunless tanning company. What is the name of your company?
Glo Co.
Why did I don't know. When I search something else in Instagram, I have to search something else other than Glo Co.
Spray Tan Huntsville.
Yes.
Because not many people would know to look for our specific name, especially if you're from out of town or if you're just Googling. Normally when you Google a subject, not a specific name unless somebody's given it to you. So either way, if they search our name or Spray Tan Huntsville, will pop up.
Okay.
And we'll be the first ones to pop up. It's kind of like having a painting company and naming your painting company AAA Painting, because you'll be the first in the phone book back in the day.
Because I always want to be like, it's Spray Tan Huntsville, but it's not. That's not the name of our company, but that's what I search every time I get on Instagram and it pops up, or if I tag her in something. But so anyways, this is a mobile spray tanning company. How did you even come up with this idea to do a mobile spray tan company?
Well, to be completely honest, several years ago, Amanda and I were joking around saying we wanted to have a beauty bus, basically a mobile aesthetic bus that went around. A lot of the larger cities have such items as this, which encompass spray tanning, Botox, fillers, IV fluids, anything under the sun that could be aesthetic. And so I had actually had a mobile spray tan from a lovely woman in Nashville, Tennessee for my wedding last year. And it was just an awesome experience to be able to not be stressed out during that time period of high stress, and to also have her come to me. The convenience was just next level for me.
Yeah.
And so although we had talked about having this beauty bus, the overhead and everything on that to get started would be a lot to get started with that. So we just decided to start with this mobile business, which again is just as convenient as if we had a bus come outside your house. And to me, actually more convenient, because we're coming inside your business, house, gym, etc. You're not having to leave the comfort of your own home or wherever you're at to have your spray tan done at. You're not having to worry about the weather. You're not having to worry about walking out looking like a hot mess express, no bra on, and loose dark clothing, and just feeling a little bit crazy afterwards.
Yeah. So I've had a few spray tans by 5 different people, I believe. And I will say, like, this is no bias at all. Like, yours is top notch. Like, I'm redheaded, if you did not know. And to get a redhead spray tan to where you don't look like a Oompa Loompa walking around town is really hard. And I get it, because some people don't customize their spray tans, and some people just carry like light, medium, dark, whatever.
Yeah.
And even their light is dark. And so my first spray tan ever, I waited until I was 30, I think, to get a spray tan. No, I was probably 31 when I got my first spray tan. And it wasn't that, I love everyone I've gotten a spray tan from, but she just was not custom. I got the light color, and it was bad. It was bad. And so I've gotten your spray tan and loved, I've never once, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, you look like you have a glow. Have you been tanning in the tanning bed? I'm like, no, I'm not tanning in the tanning bed no more. So really appreciate your custom colors. So do you have how do you do your custom colors? I'm not saying give us your secret, but
yes. So we both actually got certified and educated through our company with Norvell to be able to do this. It's really based on somebody's Fitzgerald skin scale, if people want to look that up on Google, and in knowing that person's undertones to be able to provide them a base color from the DHA, which is the sugar component we use that interacts with the amino acids on your skin to give you that bronze color you see with your tan afterwards. So it's really about knowing that education from behind that to be able to pick the correct color. And I personally worked at a tanning salon when I was in high school, and we had a spray tanning booth. And so not only do I feel like custom spray tannings are next level from that in general, because people get confused while they're in there, they forget to spray one side. And again, they only offer like light, medium, dark. There's no customization in that. And same thing, you could end up with this orange color that everybody associates spray tans with, or reverts back to the Friends episode. So that is a definitely no orange guarantee with us. We are based on the education that we've had through Norvell, as well as being able to custom mix our solutions to not only pick the undertone, but as well the depth of darkness that you're wishing to achieve with that.
And I do think it does make a difference that y'all are both nurse practitioners, because I think that, you know, yeah, anyone can go get trained on anything, but y'all also know kind of the basis of chemicals and things like that just from the lessons you've had from your nurse practitioner background, in my opinion.
Yes. Well, and that's another reason why we chose the brand that we did. Norvell is just so highly recognized, and all of their solutions are vegan, 100% vegan, gluten-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free, cruelty-free, and then we also offer 100% organic solutions as well. So these are ingredients that are very well for people with sensitive skins as well, and you're not having to worry about getting breakouts from them in addition to that. And I feel like it's also good to know that my esthetician here in town, this is a product in the brand that she previously used, so that makes me highly confident in this brand.
Yeah, speaking of her, which I have talked to her, so we share the same esthetician, Hannah. She is amazing. If you are in Huntsville, she's Glitter and Moss. She's amazingly good. I don't know if she's even accepting new clients at this point because she's so good and sought after. She actually agreed to be on my podcast soon, so I'm excited about that. We'll get to talk all skin things, but actually, so I got my, like I was saying, I got my first spray tan and it was horrible. And then I got my second spray tan by Hannah and loved it. Like, she customized it, did so good because she's so knowledgeable about the skin as well. Sorry, I'm having to laugh at Caitlyn. We're making mimosas while we do this podcast, and hers is bubbling over the glass. But so what I was like, and then literally the first time I got the spray tan with Hannah, she was like, well, I'm not really doing spray tans at the time. I don't have the space for it, and I'm busy with skin stuff. And I was like, no, that's when I was so upset. So then I tried 2 other people. This was before Caitlyn had her business, and I tried 2 other people. And the third person, not so good. Just terrible. Orange again. And then the 4th person was in Tennessee when I got my hair cut. Shout out to Mallory. She's amazing. Like, it was good. But I'm not driving an hour every time I need a spray tan.
And I come to you.
I'm just saying, like, it would just be too much to drive once a week to get a spray tan. So then Caitlyn said that she was going to do this. Well, let's just be honest. Caitlyn didn't say she was going to do this. I found her on Instagram, and I was like, who is this? Because she did not post her face, nor Amanda's face. I was like, who are these people following me on Instagram?
Had to draw them in.
So I'm like, and so I entered this contest not knowing it was Caitlyn, and I win to get a free spray tan, and I'm like, who is this? And then Caitlyn messages me on Instagram. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's you. But then, y'all, seriously, first spray tan I had was amazing. It faded good. Like, I didn't even notice when it was gone. I never was blotchy. Like, it was amazing.
That's what I like to tell clients as well. I feel like our spray tans generally last 7 to 10 days. For me, it lasts 10 days, but it's really based on your natural skin exfoliation process, as well as how you prep. Like, prep is so key with getting the spray tan that you want to achieve. I'd say it's 50% client and 50% artist. So allowing yourself to have appropriate preparation with our knowledge on the spray tanning. And I feel like by day 10 for me, like you just said, it's just at that point in time, it's just gone. Extremely light, and you don't have these areas that you're having to exfoliate off.
Yeah, like, I didn't even notice it away. So if someone were to have a bad experience with your tanning, which they will not, I can, trust me, I've had 2 or 3 tans by you now, and every single one of them has been amazing. Never had an issue. What would they do? Like, what happens?
So there's actually a couple mousses out there that you can get from Ulta or order online, and they're essentially tan erasers. So I think it's a combination of using those mousse products as well as exfoliating really good afterwards. I can't personally say 100% how they do or don't work because we have not had to use them at this point in time. But they are out there, and I know that people on the reviews say, good things about them for whenever they're needing to use them for whatever reason it may be.
Okay, so that's good to know. Have you ever heard of this like lemon trick, like lemon water? Like, does that work?
I have not. So if I'm spraying someone, although it clearly states in our prep instructions that we detailed send over, people probably for their first spray tan with us are overwhelmed by the information that we send them to set them up for success. But when I'm spraying somebody, I can tell whether or not they took their deodorant off. As soon as I pass my spray tan gun past their underarms, it'll immediately have a dark circle, and it'll be like this deep green, like brown almost color. But if you are using a deodorant that has any sort of aluminum in it, it will interact with the DHA and cause this darkening under the arm.
And so, like, do you think that you will ever get into the business of creating your own, like, sunless tan for people who can't get the mobile tan?
So that is really a big market right now, and I follow a lot of spray tanning gurus and people that literally grew their business so much that they no longer even spray tan. They just teach people how to start their own spray tanning businesses and and then they provide them with products for their own spray tanning company, and they create their labels, et cetera, and send them out to them. So they're just doing the middleman in between that. Right now, I don't think that is on our agenda. That would require an additional business license. And since we are only almost 3 months into this, it would be something that certainly would be a goal for maybe 2022 for us. Yeah. But right now, we're just riding this into the sunset and continuing to make everybody bronze and beautiful.
Which I love, because I'm trying. So I used to be a big proponent of laying out in the sun, getting in the tanning bed, like especially in high school, always in the tanning bed, because again, I'm pale and people made fun of me for that. And I'm like, I can only get so tan anyways for this ginger skin I have. I mean, I don't really burn. And
it's more of like a reddish tan.
Like but I do tan for a redhead, so that's good. But like, so I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to not get in the tanning bed because skin cancer and all that jazz. So
premature aging.
Exactly. So I don't get this Botox for nothing.
Goodbye wrinkles.
So like, I'm definitely trying this out. So I know you offer deals, like if people want to do, it's not necessarily packages, but what's the promotion that you run if people do this like monthly, I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, so I mean, they are packages. We have packages out there where if you buy 3, you get a set amount of discount, buy 4, X amount of discount, and buy 5, X amount of discount, which ultimately by the time you've bought 4, it's basically buy 4, get 1 free.
Gotcha.
And then each month we're always running an additional special on top of that as well, whether it's 10% off, buy your one tan, get the next one $10 off. We have the party discounts that we do. So whether it's a bridal party or just a group of your girlfriends or guy friends, we do tan meals. You can have a host, and then that host will have, if you have at least 4 other people, the host will tan absolutely free. If everyone is of age 21 and older in the state of Alabama and everywhere else in the United States, we will bring Prosecco or Rosé, champagne, etc. And everyone else gets a discount on top of the host spraying for free.
So that's awesome. Like, I need to get my friends involved in this because everyone looks better. If like they say, if you can't tone it, tan it.
Being tan naked just hits differently. Ask my husband.
Does your husband ask you to spray tan him?
Yes. So he actually was avid in tanning in the tanning bed, which I was extremely not a fan of. And after starting this business, he has not tanned in the tanning bed one time. I spray him, and I taught him how to spray me.
There you go. There it is. So
not many people's husbands do tan, though, but my husband is really into fitness and his own personal aesthetics, which I appreciate.
I feel like men want to be tan, too.
They do. It really makes your abs pop more.
It does. And, like, speaking on that topic, like, this is total off topic. Wasn't planning on talking about this, but, like, aesthetics in general, like, we just need to get past the taboo in the South. Like, for whatever reason in the South, like, I just said, like, 500 times, but anyways, fillers and Botox and fitness and whatever is so like, oh, we don't talk about it. It's hush hush.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Well, also I feel like it's the group of people that people may hang around as. I feel like all of my friends, for the most part, or maybe every single one of them, I actually could say, would not lie to you about anything that they've had in addition. My partner, Amanda, she's been getting Botox for several years now. And when people ask her what her skincare routine is, she replies Botox.
that's what I say too.
I just recently started getting Botox in my forehead just a few months ago. And I can tell you, I will not be doing Botox. I definitely am obsessed.
Exactly. Like, but I think that's funny because when my patients, like, because we're wearing masks now, so when my patients are like, "Are you even old enough to be a nurse practitioner?" and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 33," and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" and I'm like, "Botox," because all you can see is like my forehead and my nose. So I'm like, Botox. That's why my forehead's not wrinkly. It used to be so bad. Like, I'm telling you.
I'm close to needing to get mine redone. You can see like 1.5 up there.
Oh my gosh, you're fine. Like, I have a 5 head. Like, I really do. I have a 5 head, and it takes a lot of Botox. And Dr. Haley DeGraff, when she's on my podcast, can tell you all this. Like, it literally takes a lot of Botox. But anyways, I digress. So back to your tanning adventures. So what sets your company apart from any other spray tan company?
If we're looking just at the region of North Alabama in general, which that would, I feel like, is the question that you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I think being mobile is the top game changer to be able to come to people's houses.
Don't mean to speak over you, but when it's raining outside, can we
Yeah.
just talk about holy lifesaver?
Yes, and you're not having to worry about ruining that spray tan you just paid for.
Because I've done that.
And then in addition, I feel like we've had a really big hit with a lot of mothers here in town. Like, they're not having to find childcare, and they're getting to do a little bit of self-care within, just a few minutes and get back to their usual activities afterwards. I feel like that's the biggest thing. And then the next thing is, I feel like if you go to, I'm not going to name the big brand commercial tanning companies, but if you were to go to one of them, a lot of them don't actually offer everything all inclusive. So our prices are very competitive, in my own personal opinion, to what these places are offering at these commercial places that you're actually having to drive to. But then in their pricing, it doesn't include things like this pH balancing spray. I would never go to somebody that did not offer pH balancing spray included with your spray tan, because as a spray tan artist, I personally would not want to spray somebody without having this pH balancing spray on their skin to balance that pH so you don't have those orange undertones.
And guys, this is a lifesaver, I'm telling you. This probably is what's different between her company and the people I've been to in the past, because Hannah used it on me and Caitlyn used it on me and Mallory used it on me. The other 2 people did not, and I was Oompa Loompa orange.
Yeah, it really does make the difference. And then outside of that, we also include all of our disposables. You're not having to pay anything additional, so you don't have to worry about the bottom of your feet getting extra bronzer on them. We include the barrier cream for your hands, elbows, knees, any of the dry spots of your skin, your hairnet, so your hair is protected. Not that it would change the color of your hair. You just don't want a solution on the top of your hair after you just got spray tan. And then we have disposable panties if you're wanting to not use one of your own personal clothing items, or if you're not wanting to go nude, etc. And then our drying powder, I feel like that's also a game changer too, to be able to step out of the booth and be completely dry, not feel sticky, sweaty, wet, or anything of that nature. And you're ready to just put your clothes back on, and you're not going to have any areas that have creases, etc., from where you are dry.
Definitely can attest to this too, because I know. So last time I was at Caitlyn's house, we did a spray tan, like we were practicing with reels and stuff, and I literally stepped out of the tanning booth and I was like, I'm completely dry. And she was like, that's the point. And I was like, but normally I'm not. Like, normally I have to like hold my arms out and like wait and dry. And I'm like, I'm kind of cold, want to put my clothes on.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm dry. This is weird.
And I think that the next thing too is, like, even if it wasn't a convenience factor, I feel like when you drive, like it's an event, if you're having to go somewhere to get spray tan, right? Like outside of like if you have children or anything like that, finding people to watch them, or it's your day off and so now you've got to get ready, drive to wherever this location is, undress, go into whether it's a booth or another custom artist, then doing that and then leaving. We come to your house. When we're in your house, we can be set up with all of our tent and gun, items, etc., and out of your house in really under 20 minutes. I think that is the quickest I've been able to get in and out, but 30 minutes max for sure. And that's usually for a new client because I'm in depth going over every detail with them to make sure that they feel comfortable and that they understand and that they have all the information they need to also prolong their spray tan afterwards. But the standard after that, in and out in 20 minutes and you're done and you're ready to continue on with the rest of your day, whatever that may be.
Unless you're me, and then Caitlyn and I just talk for 2 to 3 hours. But that's just because we're friends and we know each other and we got to catch up on life because we never get to see each other because life is crazy.
Yes. And what I think is awesome too about our business, with Amanda and I both being in a co-foundership and partnership with this, is our availability is also opened up. So we don't work the same schedule. We're usually on opposite schedules, which is a sad day, but we are able to offer timeframes that work for anybody. And we're pretty flexible too. And we offer, I think this is a big thing, late night spray tanning.
That is true.
So a lot of places, even if they offer a later, and by later I mean like maybe they don't go past 6 o'clock, but they charge you to come there after like 5 o'clock, which is insane to me because most people work during the week, even if they're Monday through Friday, like they're not getting off by 5 o'clock. So that's unfortunate because that's your, you know, I don't want to say target audience, but those are the people that are usually going to be coming to you to spray tan. And so for me, that we take our last appointment at 8:30. So we're tanning up until 9 p.m. at night. That helps all the people that do shift work, and praise be to all of you shift workers.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And also allows people that have children, they can get their children in bed, like have already done dinner, etc. Like it's a overall around convenience factor. And I think that's the biggest thing that makes it stand out, because at the end of the day, it's everybody's about convenience.
Yeah, like just 2021. It's convenience year. I mean, especially during quarantine. Like, I listened to Stassi's podcast. I don't know if anyone knows who Stassi is, but she's on Vanderpump Rules. Straight Up with Stassi was her podcast. And she was talking about, during her quarantine adventures, like, she was like, if you just feel bad, just go get a good spray tan. Just get a good spray tan, sit around in your house in a spray tan, and even spray tan your face. And if you spray tan your face, you're going to feel good because I do. Like, when you tan me, like, I feel good. Because I've put on a little quarantine weight. I'm going to work on that. If you know me, I am also a nutrition coach, and Caitlyn's one of my clients.
Which I will say, my week 2 photos, I felt much more confident because I was tan at that point from a spray tan.
And when
week
she
3, maybe not so much.
When she says week 2 photos, she means like her check-in photos. I make her send me photos once a week because it's accountability at that point. Like, I've had a nutrition coach, and when you have to send in progress photos, you like,
that's delicious. You should try that, girl.
She's talking about a strawberry. She forgets that no one can see what we're doing. So, anyways, where were we going with this?
Check-in photos.
Yeah, check-in photos. So she said that she felt great on her last 2 because she was tan. And that's what I will say, like, since I've put on some quarantine weight, when I am tan by Caitlyn, Glo Co.
Spray Tan Huntsville.
At Spray Tan Huntsville.
At
Spray Tan Huntsville, at Glo Co. Follow them on Instagram. Shout out. I feel very toned and tan. Like, I'm like, oh, I lost 5 pounds. And I didn't. I'm just tanner. But we all feel that way, I think. So we all know that we all like to be tan and toned. But anyways, I will lose this quarantine weight. I'm not worried about that because I do know how to count macros. I do know how to do all that. But speaking from that standpoint, let's just go ahead and swap because Caitlyn is one of my very first clients. Shout out to Caitlyn for trusting me. But let's talk about that a little bit, about how you decided, because Caitlyn's very versed in fitness. She's a workout queen. She knows what she's doing when it comes to counting macros. She's done this before. So what made you reach out to me to want me to be your coach?
So if I could rewind back to when I think I personally was in my best shape, would have been in 2017. And at that point in time, I was kind of really knee deep into my food sensitivities. And I essentially have sensitivity to anything that breaks down into fructose, which is an ungodly long list that I will not dive into. But I have to follow what's called a low FODMAP diet, which I don't like to call it a diet. I think it's just more so of foods that give me bloating and burping issues, needless to say. And at that point in time, I was very strict on restricting those things because I was so tired of feeling tired. And so it was very easy for me during that time period to keep away from all of those items. And I did that for well over a year and probably felt the best that I'd ever felt, was in the best shape of my life. But ultimately, for me, it was not long-term sustainable. And I feel like I'm very educated on how restricting yourself can cause you to rebound, etc. But I knew that that's what I had to do to figure out what all of my food triggers were. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, just kind of life caught up with me. I had gotten engaged to my now husband. Hey, babe. And we were building a house. Just a lot of high stress events. And then to top it off, like quarantine this past year, I feel like in the past year, I just really was not following any of those restrictions. We were kind of in between moving, etc., just kind of displaced with everything in between selling our house.
I mean, life.
So, yes. And so I definitely indulged, and I felt like it was kind of like a downward spiral after that. And then like next thing I know, I was at a point where I'm like, whoa, like I need to reel this back in, and cognizant of the path that I was going down with this. And so anytime that in the past that I've done anything with fitness, I have just done more of like intuitive eating, and also restricting myself from those foods that cause me the bloating and to feel fatigued and tired, etc. But this time I wanted to actually be cognizant of what I was doing with my goals. Anytime in the past I've done macros, I may track for like a week just to kind of get a roundabout area and to know like where am I at from a macro standpoint and what am I not hitting. And usually it's I'm under eating. I'm not eating enough food to get to my goals.
Which, believe it or not, that's most everyone.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize like the amount of protein that they are, are needing to intake, and these carbs, et cetera, that they're needing to take in. And then they're restricting themselves from these things that would actually help them have a better metabolism, feel better in general overall, and a hydration standpoint. I know that I don't drink enough water, like being in the healthcare, like you just are going.
Yeah.
And if you don't have time to go to the bathroom, you don't want to be drinking water.
And wearing a mask doesn't help with that.
Yes. Oh yeah. Because then
I don't want to take the mask off, and then
yes, like pick your battles there. So I knew that I needed some accountability because I just spiraled, I feel like, so far out of control from where I was, and to really take this seriously. And I would do prior to this, I would do like 2 or 3 weeks and I'd be good, and the next thing I know, like I am back at Chick-fil-A every single day because it is amazing.
And they just put one by our hospital, so there you go.
And so it has really been, I feel like, even in just the past 3.5 weeks that I've been tracking, I can 100% say I feel significantly better. My husband knows I feel better. I feel like my attitude is better. I know I'm hydrating better. I am getting definitely 8+ hours of sleep, like maybe even 9.5 hours of sleep. And that's probably oversleeping, but
no, it's not.
I'm not mad about it.
It's not oversleeping at all.
I am really more cognizant that I'm continuously needing to up my intake of food from a standpoint of where I'm trying to be aesthetically from a muscle and lifting standpoint, because I'm not so much about just trying to lose weight. It's
she's
about
not trying
also
to just be skinny. She wants strength. Like me and her, I think we both, when we were younger, I can say that we can attest to like, oh, I want to be skinny. I want to be, because that's something I'll talk about probably on a solo podcast, but we grew up in an era where Instagram wasn't around. You didn't have influencers. You didn't have all this body positivity movement. We followed celebrities, and celebrities were thin, and they weren't telling you the real story of, oh, I have a personal chef, I have a personal trainer, I have a, you're just like,
bulimic.
Yeah, like, or I have an eating disorder. Like, you just look at these people and are like, why can't I do that? And so, now that there's all these influencers and people that are like, it's okay. This is what real life's like. Like, this is what I really look like versus my posing.
Well, to talk about from like real life versus, what's on social media. I think I had even in 2017 when I feel like I was in my best shape, which I am going to be again this year. But
she is, because I'm going to make this girl.
I had a specific post where I was flexing in one post and then not flexing in the other one, like a side-by-side comparison. So obviously everybody's Instagram is going to be their best reels. It's their final cuts. It's not their behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really mine. I don't like walk around with my triceps and biceps popping out. Like it's
not real life.
even at like my most fit era, like I was not just like walking around bodybuilder style.
Well, and I don't want to call anybody out, but I do have friends that I know for a fact message me when they, so they were trying to diet and they were working out, and they're actually big influencers. Like, girls really listen to what they say. So I guess it bothered me when they would tell me like I'm miserable, I'm only eating like 1,000 calories a day. And then they would get on their social media and literally post, "Oh, I'm so happy. Like I'm not hungry at all." And I'm like, is that the best thing to do here?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm very transparent on my Instagram, my Macros by Jay page. Like, I'm very transparent with all my followers. Like, I'm like, hey, I drink alcohol. I don't always eat the best. I try, just like the rest of the world, I try. But the biggest thing when it comes to nutrition coaching, which, I had a nutrition coach and I actually went through their program to become certified because I was very interested in it. Like, the biggest thing was, like you said, the accountability. Like, I don't want to be drinking something, have it logged, and then know tomorrow's my picture day, because I'm like, I'm going to be bloated. I'm going to not look my best.
Yeah.
I better not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's what helps you actually in the long run is like, I better not do that because these pictures ain't going to look the best.
Yeah.
But.
Well, and same thing, like even from an under eating standpoint, like you can have somebody be like, okay, we need to figure out different ways to get you your proteins in or get your carbs in, or, ramp this up or do smaller meals over multiple times, just trying to find out what works best for you, because the same thing doesn't work best for everyone. Everybody is such like an individual situation based on their, medical history, their food intolerances, their food restrictions, their diet style, whether it's, they eat meats, don't eat meats, are vegan, pescatarian, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. No, I mean, I love our Sunday check-ins because, like, I've had people in the past where, like, they were, like, trying to get because I haven't actually taken on clients where, like, I'm charging people yet. Like, I've only taken on my friends and family or whatever, and no one takes it seriously. Everyone, and it's because it's free. Mm-hmm. Like, no one's going to take it seriously if you're not paying for it. But I will say, Caitlyn is taking it so seriously.
I'm trying to get in that shape, girl.
I love it.
Get it tight, get it right, get it tight.
Like, I love it. She's like, we're going to have this Zoom meeting. Here's my questions. Like, she writes down her questions when she thinks about it. I love it. Like, I'm like, this is what a client is.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I love to do. I love to talk about it. I love whatever. But I find it very intriguing because, like, right before this podcast and I sat down, she was like, oh, I have a couple of questions for you before we start.
I need the deets. I need the info.
So that's just a little dive into the macro world. So if you want to know anything else about nutrition, you can definitely hit me up on my nutrition page. It's macros by _J. I will answer any questions you have, or if you want me to coach you, down to do that too. I want to thank you so much for being here with me and for letting me interview you or have a communication or whatever you want to call this. And if you want to look for Caitlyn and Amanda's spray tan company in Huntsville, it's at Spray Tan Huntsville on Instagram, or you can search her Glo Co company. And Caitlyn, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's about it. Thank you for having us, and we'll be glad to join you on another episode.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye.